Hello guys, it's Sapphire Morning Star and I'm here with a review of The Gifted, Season 2, Episode 1, titled eMergence. So, it begins with the meeting of the Hellfire Club's inner circle is taking place. A young woman named by the name of Reeva Payge is the organizer of the meeting and a member of the inner circle who would like to offer an explanation for her recent actions regarding Atlanta. Also in attendance are the Frost sisters, Esme, Sophia, and Phoebe, as well as William. Reeva reminds those of the inner circle that they're all pretty much fighting for the same cause, which is peace and freedom for them being mutant, because the world hates mutants right now because of the whole July 15th incident, which I kind of hope we get more backstory on that whole July 15th. So like, what exactly happened? Because we know a mutant blast went off and killed a bunch of people, both most likely mutants and humans. That caused this whole kick for these mutant laws. So I need to know. So hopefully they actually we get more detail on exactly what was going down on July 15th, because I really want to know. So basically saying she's like, mutants when they require a place of their own, sort of like a free haven for mutants, essentially, a Garden of Eden for mutants. Meanwhile, in Atlanta, they discover mutants powerful enough to accomplish said dream, though it required them to go against commands. Talk about Polaris and, of course, Andy Von Strucker, the descendants of the Von Strucker twins. They got one set of the twin. Though with the new recruit, she would like to push forward with building a better future. Unfortunately, William is unconvinced. He reminds her that the Mutant Homeland Project has been discussed and dismissed due to the risk. However, Reeva refuses to stand down, reminding William that mutants are dying and that she didn't claw her way out of the mutant slums in Chicago just to watch her own people suffer. You know what they say, William. Well-behaved women rarely make history, the Frost sisters add. Nevertheless, William was like, nah, he's not. He's not a big fan of the fact that they recruited Polaris, who is mentally unstable, and not only that, but she's also a expecting mother, and of course Andy, who's pretty much still a child, teenager. Reeva reminds Williams that Polaris is exceptional, and mutants such as herself doesn't come around too often, and Andy is a Von Strucker. I mean, plus Polaris happens to be, the daughter of Magneto, leader of the Brotherhood. Just saying, but they hinted at that, but they won't go on and say it. But we all know. How many mutants they can control magnetism and stuff? Just saying. His family helped build the Hellfire Club. Regardless, as one voice in the council, Reeva had no right to make the decision. So pretty much acting without the authorization, of everybody else. So, however, as pointed out by the Frost sisters who acted on Reeva's instructions, waiting on William's authorization would result in nothing being done. The point is, Reeva acted without the blessings of the inner circle, William says. While this is true, Reeva always believed that it is better to ask for forgiveness than for permission. She says this before using her mutant powers by generating this high-pitched tone to subdue the other members. That way, the Frost sisters can kill each one of them. And then we go 6 months later. We're in Washington, D.C. Lorna stares outside the large window of the inner circle base of operations, reminiscing of her relationship with Marcos. It's understandable. You and Marcos was a thing. It's so beautiful. And of course, you're having his baby, and that baby's almost here. So, Andy joins her, asking if she's ready to go. Wherever she goes, he intends to be there with her. Lorna explains that when she dreamed of having a baby, she imagined she would be surrounded by family. Andy attempts to comfort her, saying that they're her family and that he will be there for her. Then Reeva and Esme stand in the doorway listening before calling on Ottawa. Elsewhere, the Sentinel Services are raiding Liberty Park apartments. They're surrounding the building and demand that those inside come out. So the mutants that's inside the building, they're scattered everywhere. 2 of them are these teenage girls. The police comes in. They kill the parents. There's a roundup mutant, and if you're a human and you're trying to save a family member who might be a mutant, whether it's like a husband, a wife, your children, cousin, niece, whatever, they don't care. They're going to shoot people down just to get to the mutants. It was like, this shit is crazy. But it's understandable that they probably have, that the Sentinel Services and human beings have probably went to this far after what happened at the end of last season. Like, seriously. Lorna, might well say she ripped apart the freaking plane that had your boy in it. And then, of course, the Frost sisters, when when they did get one of the Renal Services, not Renal Services, the Sentinel Services to help with them, here come the Frost Sisters controlling everybody, had all the officers kill each other. So with those two incidents, Sentinel Services, the way they're raiding these apartments, just going after mutants now, is not a bit of a surprise. It's not surprising. Like, those incidents just made it worse for mutant kinds personally to me. The two girls that who end up losing their parents in this raid, Christina and Jasmine, so they end up taking cover, and then on the monitor we have Reed. He's intercepting the dispatch call for the raid at Liberty Park, and then he alerts John, Marcos, Lawrence, and Clarice. They head to the park. They go and try to track the mutants down. Try to save them. So they saved a decent amount. So then the rescue mutants are taken to the Community of Mercy Clinic where they can receive treatment for the injuries. Caitlin personally tends to Christina and would seem she suffered too deep a cut to her right hand. As Caitlin attempts to treat her, Christina is overwhelmed with pain, causing her powers to forcefully manifest. Caitlin ducks, pleading with Christina pretty much control her powers. She's 12 years old. Then she asks if they found her sister. Her sister's 12, and they got separated as their parents got killed. And Caitlin, because she's a mother, of course, she's still going to be looking for her son. She's asking, so physically, she's trying to find Andy. She's trying to find her son. Personally, I think Andy, I get it. He's feeling the mutant pride thing, but I still think he should at least let his mama know that he's safe. Like, he got his mama out here worrying and shit, asking random mutant, like, yo, have you seen my kid, He should at least let his mama know that he's safe. So then when she's alone at the clinic, she shuts down for the afternoon. She enters a closet labeled biohazard sign. Then there's a secret door where she has her husband in there. He's pretty much forging identification for the mutants that they have rescued. So they have like this whole little operation going on. They rescue mutants. Caitlin treats them. And then Reed, gives them some new identity so they could hopefully be safe. Go somewhere where they're safer. And the mutant laws are not so harsh, basically. And they pretty much have been searching a number of cities in an attempt to find Andy before John had managed to track Andy and Lawrence to D.C. Reed understands Caitlin's frustrations. It's understandable. Like I said, she's a mom that is worried. Then, of course, we're back with, Lorna and everyone else. They pretty much tell Lorna, look, we're going to have you're going to give birth in this munitions warehouse, which makes sense because we see Lorna ends up having the baby's kicking and everything, and when the baby kicked, her powers started, because you made it. So this is why they want her in an ammunitions warehouse, because if the baby just kicking and this broad is already moving like poles and cars, imagine what happens when she's giving birth. So So then the Mutant Underground, they have a little group, have a little pep talk about, the mutants that they saved today, they're going to end up starting new lives. Reed has organized transportation for the people they took in and got them some documents. Shatner's crew in Baltimore are going to give most of them some place. However, Lauren is concerned for Christina, who doesn't wish to leave without her sister, Jasmine. While the trail is a day old, John and Clarice will continue the efforts to find Jasmine. Until then, Christina will stay with them. Lastly, Marcos has been asking around and doing so got in contact with a group of mutant hackers who can get in computer systems. Marcos spoke to the man in charge, who named Wire, personally asking in person. He talked in person. So John and Reed are set with Marcos to reach out to the hackers because they're basically criminals, and not only that, but you guys have been pretty much good. You want nobody on your radar, But however, Caitlin, she doesn't see nothing wrong with what Marco's efforts reach out is, but apparently, John reminds everyone that the only thing keeping them safe is that the government thinks that they died in Atlanta after that big explosion thing. So so pretty much they think that they're dead. So they did have that going. They do have that going for them. Meanwhile, back at the base, Lorna is experiencing more pains, and then Lorna, she experiences more pains, and she apologizes for what happened at the warehouse. And then Reeva is concerned about Lorna, who claims that she's depressed, that she feels alone. So Reeva sympathizes with her and says the first thing she ever felt was alone, that she was hated for being poor. Then she was hated for the color of her skin, after she's an African American woman. And then she was hated for her power. So triple threat: classism, racism. What category would mutant be? Speciesism, I guess you would say. I say that because in X-Men, in one of the X-Men one of the first X-Men trilogy, Mystique calls one of the human beings Homo sapiens. So I'm guessing speciesism. I'm guessing that's what mutants would come under. I guess. However, she's pretty much trying to console Lorna, but Lorna is a little bit not sure about everything because she heard some stuff about the inner circle, which is understandable. So later, Lorna eventually gives birth, and she goes into her water breaks, and then, so obviously she's going into labor. So she eventually has to be quickly sent to the munitions building, but it's not completely ready yet. But the baby's coming. So meanwhile, Marcos and Caitlin end up meeting with the Wire, the mutant hacker. After a little struggle, they finally get the information they needed. They take it back. Obviously, the rest of the group is mad. But then Marcos, looking outside, he notices the lights and stuff going on. So he calls Caitlin and Reed to show them. And he's like, that's Lorna. So they end up trying to follow the power lines, find the source, and you'll find Lorna. And so Reed and Caitlin, like, if we find Lorna, we find Andy. So they're racing, right? They're racing to find her, right? So while Lorna's in the middle of giving birth, she knows something wrong, but they realize that the issue with Lorna is not a medical issue, it's more of a mental block. And if they don't do something soon, she's going to eventually die. So then this forces Reeva and the Frosters to regroup and come up with a plan. So what happens is Frosters pretty much shows her a vision of the future of what they plan, the dawn of a new age. And then after Lorna sees it, she said this is what she wants more than anything, and so she gives another big push that nearly brings down the entire building as a forklift slams through the wall. This last push also kills the entire grid. Pretty much, homegirl calls a blackout, shutting down all the lights and preventing John from tracking it any further. Marcos questions what this means if Lorna or the baby are dead. Unfortunately, no one has an answer for him. In an emotional state, Marcos drops down to his knees in agony as his hands glow, and as it turns out, Lorna survived the birthing process, as did the baby, who she named Dawn. So I'm curious, because Mama skill, powers, magnetics, Daddy is like light. Will the child have powers as a combination of the two? Not sure. But also, what I didn't mention was Reed in this episode. With Reed, what we noticed is he's been having some headaches and his hands was glowing a little bit. So I have a feeling that because if you remember season 1, the dad mentions that that he was pretty much born with the, with the mutant gene. He's starting to have power, but the dad pretty much tried to suppress them or get rid of them. But if he just suppressed them, whatever he did to him, it most likely is probably wearing off now, and his powers are re-emerging. So, and that was also what he was trying to tell his wife until before Marco sort of interrupted him and showed them the lights, the situation with the light. So that is all for pretty much episode 1, eMergence. I am definitely looking forward to season 2. Definitely looking forward to season 2, especially with all these new mutants that we're going to be introduced to, and some other things. And within, especially with this new character Reeva, she is definitely not to be trusted. But I'm curious to see what, how this is all going to play out. So comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. And I will be uploading the review for American Horror Story shortly. So again, comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.